Okay, so I'm here to talk to you guys today about how I work in a team environment and with my teammates and what strengths and weaknesses that I would bring to a team dynamic. So obviously you guys know me, my name is David Eshelman, and this is David Eshelman in the team dynamic. So going through the personality profiles, these are some of the breakdowns of how I scored in each of the personality tests, and maybe you guys can kind of compare and contrast excuse me, to your own, how you guys scored. In Myers-Briggs, I was an INFJ, which is an introvert, intuitive, feeling, and judging. So basically what that means, it's actually the rarest of all the different types, so only 1% of the population is INFJ. And so I rely pretty heavily on my intuition, my gut feelings. I guess supposedly I'm not quite so logical. Like I said, I kind of go with how I feel in situations and trust my instincts a lot. But it also means that I tend to be good at like sensing other people's emotions and feelings, which makes me pretty adept at mediating conflict as well. So another one of the interesting points that are part of this personality profile is that I am stubborn. So I can get, because I'm achievement focused, I can get kind of too focused on the goal and get set in my ways. So let's see some of the other ones. I scored high on the emotional intelligence test, which to me seems kind of superfluous, but apparently someone with high emotional EQ is supposed to work well in group dynamics. And then type A personality test, this was another one which I thought was interesting. I scored a 40, which said basically that although it's a moderate score on the scale, I still am at risk of type A personality. I like the word at risk. So, and it also said I might be slightly at risk for heart disease because of my score. I'm sure you guys all saw that too, which was kind of funny. The other thing too, the aptitude for entrepreneurship, I scored a 70 on, which basically told me that I'm not really suitable for starting my own business or entrepreneurship unless I tried really hard or I trained someone to do or hired someone to do the position of managing for me, basically. So again, how does this break down for me? I function pretty well in different roles. I can kind of slide into a leadership role if need be, or be a team member, organize group settings. I'm not particularly strong at doing any one particular thing, but if I'm put in a role, I can do it pretty well. So again, as I stated, I'm achievement and goal-oriented, and again, rely heavily on intuition and gut feelings. Empathetic perfectionist kind of goes into that same continuum of being goal-oriented. So one of the things that I think it was the Myers-Briggs test said was that I'm harsh on others as far as my expectations, but I'm equally or more so hard on myself and don't feel like I measure up to my own standards. So basically what that means is I have a very high standard, but even for myself, I don't always live up to my expectations. So, but I try really hard, apparently. I'm very open to new ideas and trying new strategies and thinking from a different direction and trying to integrate more than just a straight way of thinking, so thinking outside of the box. Again, as I talked about, kind of stubborn, which goes into that being goal-oriented, and then I'm good at mediating conflict as well. Another thing that I wanted to speak on was what were the expectations for working in a group together, and that mostly just that we can work together to accomplish our goals. Like I said, I'm goal-oriented. It matters to me that we perform well, but one of the things I'm working on, one of the goals that I set for myself was that I focus more on how we get there, not just the achievement or the end result. So, and also setting smaller goals for ourselves along the way. So yeah. And then teamwork is always really important in a team. And so despite what anybody's role is or kind of wherever they fit into this continuum of personality traits or character traits, cats and dogs are polar opposites of each other and they can work together. So I think anybody can work together as a team. So that is my presentation.
Woo!
Love Reddit.
Yeah.